The discovery. The night sky above Earth was calm, filled with silent stars. To humans, it looked ordinary. But high above the atmosphere, far from human eyes, a silver vessel drifted silently. Inside it, a group of alien explorers gathered around a glowing map. Their leader, Commander Vayer, pointed at one section of the planet. "There," he said in a low voice. "The energy reading is not natural. Something is buried beneath the soil of this world, something older than human history." The others exchanged uneasy looks. Humans were considered young, primitive, and weak compared to the vast powers of the galaxy. They were clever, yes, but their technology was supposed to be centuries behind. Still, the readings were clear. Something ancient was sleeping under Earth's surface, hidden deep inside its crust. Their ship descended quietly into Earth's atmosphere, cloaked from satellites and human eyes. They landed in a remote valley, far away from cities and villages. The air smelled of soil and rain. The explorers moved carefully, their tall figures shining faintly under the moonlight. Each step they took left marks in the wet ground, but no human was there to see them. Dr. Kale, the youngest of the group, held a scanner in his long fingers. "The energy source is just beneath us," he whispered. "We are standing above something, massive, larger than a city." Commander Vayer's dark eyes narrowed. "Begin excavation, quietly. We do not want humans to know we were here." They activated their tools. Silent machines drilled into the ground, peeling away layers of stone and soil. Hours passed, and the earth began to reveal its secret. At first, they saw smooth black metal, impossible for nature to form. The explorers stopped, staring at the strange surface. The material shimmered, stronger than anything they had ever studied. Their scanners failed to cut through it. "This is no natural formation," Dr. Kale breathed. "This is a ship." The words hung in the air. A ship? Buried on Earth? The idea made no sense. No record in the Galactic archives mentioned humans building such a thing. And yet the evidence was before them. Piece by piece, the Earth crumbled away until they stood before a massive structure hidden for countless ages. Lines of strange markings ran along the hull. The explorers leaned closer. The symbols glowed faintly as if the ship could sense their presence. One of them reached out to touch it, but Commander Vayer stopped him. "Do not touch. It may still be active." But curiosity was stronger than fear. Dr. Kale brushed his hand across the markings. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the ground trembled. A deep vibration ran through the valley. Dust fell from the trees, and the buried ship seemed to breathe. The explorers stumbled back, panic flashing in their eyes. The black metal surface lit up with pale blue lines, like veins carrying energy. Slowly, a shape emerged from the hull, an entrance, smooth and seamless, opening on its own. Commander Vayar's voice was steady, though his chest tightened. "It recognizes us, or it recognizes something else." The opening widened, and a wave of cold air spilled out, carrying the scent of old metal and time itself. The explorers pointed their lights inside. They saw a corridor stretching into darkness, walls pulsing faintly like the heartbeat of a sleeping beast. One of the crew whispered, "What kind of ship is this? Who built it?" No one answered. They stepped inside, their footsteps echoing on the metallic floor. The walls seemed alive, shifting ever so slightly as if the ship was aware of them. Strange symbols lit up on the panels, but none of them matched any known alien language. The corridors bent and twisted in impossible ways, some leading to doors that vanished when touched. Dr. Kale's voice trembled. "This technology is beyond us. Beyond anything we've seen. Could humans have built this?" The others shook their heads. The thought was unthinkable. Humans were barely beginning to explore their own solar system. They did not have the power to create something that even galactic empires could not explain. Yet the evidence was all around them. The deeper they walked, the stranger it became. In one chamber, they found giant chairs that seemed designed for human figures. Screens lined the walls, though dark and lifeless. In another, they found fragments of weapons fused into the floor, melted by unimaginable heat. Commander Veyar's pulse quickened. Every part of his training told him to leave, but his pride kept him inside. "We will learn its secrets," he said. "We will take its knowledge. The humans must never know of this." But as he spoke, the ship reacted. The floor vibrated again, and blue lights spread across the chamber. A sound echoed through the halls, soft at first, then clearer, like a voice awakening after centuries of silence. It was not alien, it was human. "Welcome back," the voice said. The explorers froze, their hearts thundered in their chests. The voice continued, calm and steady, echoing through the ancient ship. "You have found what was never meant for outsiders. This ship does not belong to you." The chamber darkened. The explorers realized something terrifying. The ship was not dead. It was waiting, and it had recognized them as intruders. First contact with the ship, the chamber was silent except for the soft hum of power running through the walls. The explorers stood frozen, their eyes wide, their hands shaking. They had traveled across galaxies, faced storms of plasma and beasts of strange worlds, but nothing had prepared them for this. A human voice from an ancient ship buried beneath. "Earth," Commander Veyar raised his hand, signaling the crew to remain calm. His voice was firm, though his throat felt dry. "Stay alert, it may be a recording, nothing more." But Dr. Kale, standing closest to the glowing panels, shook his head. "No, Commander. This is responsive. It spoke to us." The symbols on the walls shifted, glowing brighter, arranging themselves into patterns no alien eye had seen before. They seemed to form words, messages, though none of the explorers could read them. The air grew heavy, filled with static. Their scanners blinked with warnings, energy levels rising far beyond safety. Suddenly, the floor beneath their feet rippled like liquid metal, forming shapes. Outlines of humanoid figures appeared, flickering blue, like ghosts pulled from memory. The explorers staggered back as the figures solidified, shadows of humans in old armor standing tall, silent guardians of the ship. One alien whispered, voice breaking, "They are human soldiers." The holograms did not move. They only stood. In silence, their faces blurred but their presence overwhelming. The explorers felt like children standing before giants. The ship spoke again, its voice echoing across every wall. "Unauthorized life detected. Identify yourselves." The crew froze. None of them dared to answer. Their technology, advanced as it was, had no protocol for this. Commander Veyar finally stepped forward, his voice steady but respectful. "We are explorers. We come in peace. We seek only knowledge." The ship's lights pulsed once, then dimmed. For a long moment there was silence. Then the voice replied, "Knowledge is earned. Knowledge is guarded. This ship remembers its purpose. This ship remembers the war." The word war sent a shiver down every spine. Dr. Kale exchanged a nervous glance with the others. "Commander, if this is real, if this ship remembers a war, then humanity is not what we thought." Before anyone could respond, the holographic soldiers moved. They turned their heads in unison, their blurred eyes fixing on the aliens. Slowly they raised their weapons, strange rifles glowing faintly with power older than time. The explorers panicked, drawing their own weapons in defense. "Hold fire!" Commander Veyar barked. His voice was harsh, but it cut through the fear. The holograms did not shoot. Instead, they froze again as if testing the aliens' reaction. Then one of the walls split open with a grinding roar, revealing another passage deeper into the ship. Blue light spilled from within. The voice spoke once more, softer now. "If you wish to understand, step forward. But beware. The truth was never meant for you." The explorers hesitated. Every instinct told them to retreat, to escape while they still could. Yet their pride, their hunger for discovery, drove them onward. Commander Veyar made the choice. "We go," he said. Reluctantly, the others followed him into the passage. The corridor stretched endlessly, glowing with streams of blue light. Strange machines lined the walls, humming softly. Some looked broken, while others seemed to breathe, alive in ways that defied reason. At the end of the passage, they entered a vast chamber, larger than any they had seen before. And there, it was a throne-like chair stood at the center, built for a human shape. Around it, vast screens lit up, showing fragments of battles, the stars burning, alien fleets falling under human firepower, worlds crumbling under war. The explorers gasped as the images played before them, each one more impossible than the last. Dr. Kale whispered almost to himself. This ship, it fought across the galaxy. Humans once had this power. The others stared in horror. Humanity was supposed to be weak, fragile, barely able to defend their own planet. Yet here was proof that humans had once stood at the center of galactic conflict. Proof that they had commanded ships beyond reason. One of the screens shifted, showing Earth as it was now, peaceful, ordinary, unaware of the secret buried beneath its soil. Then the voice returned. They forgot us. They buried us. But they will remember. The galaxy will remember. The lights in the chamber flared. The explorers' devices sparked and shut down, powerless against the ship's energy. A deep rumble shook the walls. Commander Vayar shouted over the noise, We must leave, now. But the passage behind them sealed shut, the walls folding like liquid metal. They were trapped. The holographic soldiers reappeared, blocking every exit, and then, for the first time, the voice changed. It no longer sounded like a recording. It sounded alive. You are not the ones we are waiting for, it said, but your presence has awakened me. The ground trembled violently, and the explorers realized the terrible truth. The ship was not only alive, it was waking up. The human legacy. The ship shook as if a giant heart had started beating again, after centuries of silence. The explorers held on to the glowing walls, their eyes wide with fear. Every pulse of blue light running through the ship felt alive, watching them, judging them. Dr. Kale's voice broke the silence. Commander, the ship is not just a weapon, it remembers. As if answering his words, the screens around them flickered. One by one they lit up, showing fragments of history. Human soldiers marching across alien worlds, ships like floating mountains tearing through fleets, and banners of Earth flying above conquered skies. The explorers stared, unable to breathe. This cannot be true, one of them whispered. Humans never had such power. They are young, weak. But the images told another story. They showed humans standing proud, fighting wars across stars the aliens had thought only they knew. A memory of a forgotten empire. The voice of the ship spoke again, calm and steady, echoing like the voice of a ghost. They called us the Vanguard. We were the shield of humanity. We fought when the galaxy turned against us, and we won. The explorers exchanged fearful glances. Commander Vayar clenched his jaw, trying to hide his unease. If this is true, then where are they now? Why did they abandon such strength? The ship seemed to hear him. The screen shifted once more, showing Earth itself thousands of years earlier. Cities glittered with strange towers, skies filled with ships far more advanced than anything alive today. But then the images darkened. Fires consumed the cities. Fleets fell silent. The stars went black. They chose silence. The voice said, They hid their armada. They buried their strength. Humanity wanted peace, but peace comes with a price. The explorers felt a chill. The chamber grew colder, as if the ship itself was mourning its past. Dr. Kale's hands trembled. Commander, they did not lose this power. They locked it away. They hid it on purpose. Vayar's mind raced. If humans once ruled the stars, and then walked away from it, what would happen if they remembered? What would happen if the galaxy found out? The explorers moved deeper into the chamber, their lights flickering against metallic walls. In the center they found rows of sealed capsules, sarcophagi of steel and glass, each marked with human symbols. Some were shattered and empty, others still glowed faintly, like sleeping giants waiting for a signal to awaken. One of the crew stepped too close to a capsule. The glass lit up, and for a heartbeat, a human face appeared inside. Eyes closed, skin pale, armor across its chest. The alien stumbled back in terror. "They're here! Still here!" The ship's voice thundered. Not all were lost. Some remain, guardians, protectors, waiting for the call. The explorers panicked, their voices rising in fear. "Commander, we must leave. This is beyond us. If humans find this, if they awaken..." But Vayar's pride chained him. His species had always seen humans as prey, as a lesser race fumbling with fire in the dark. And now, here was proof that humanity had once been gods of war. If this secret spread, the galaxy would never be the same. "No," Vayar said coldly. "We cannot leave. If we do, others will find it. We must destroy this ship." The words echoed harshly against the walls. The blue lights flared violently, and the voice of the ship grew louder, shaking the very ground. "Destroy? You dare? This ship belongs to Earth, to humanity. Outsiders cannot command it. Outsiders cannot end." The holographic soldiers returned, dozens of them now, their blurred faces glowing with blue fire. They surrounded the aliens, weapons aimed but silent like statues ready to kill at a single command. Dr. Kale's voice cracked. "Commander, we cannot fight this. This is not just a relic. This is alive." The ship trembled again. On the screens, more images appeared. Humans standing against alien empires, humans building alliances, humans dying in wars that reshaped galaxies. And then, a final image. Earth itself, turning slowly in space, calm and innocent, while the hidden voice whispered, "They forgot us, but we never forgot them." The explorers' knees felt weak. They realized this ship was not a tomb. It was a promise that one day humanity would rise again. The walls pulsed with brighter light, and the ship's voice lowered into a whisper, but it cut through every soul in the chamber. "You are not ready for the truth. But you have awakened me, and soon they will awaken too." The explorers stared at one another, their fear now beyond words. The truth was clear. Humanity was not the weak, fragile species they believed. Humanity was a storm sleeping under the soil of Earth, and they had just shaken it awake. Awakening the past. The air inside the ship grew heavier, thick with energy. Every surface of the chamber pulsed with blue veins of light, spreading like fire through metal. The explorers felt it in their bones, a heartbeat slow and powerful echoing through the walls. Dr. Kale clutched his scanner, but the device flickered and died in his hand. "Commander," he whispered, voice trembling. "The ship is reactivating. It's no longer dormant." A low hum filled the chamber, rising into a roar. Dust rained from the ceiling as the floor shifted beneath them. The sealed capsules around them vibrated, faint light spilling from within. Some flickered with movement, as if the humans inside were breathing again after centuries of silence. One alien stumbled back in terror. "They're waking up." Commander Vayar forced his voice to remain calm. "No, it's only a reaction. They are long dead. This is just memory." But even he did not believe his words. The screens lit up again, no longer showing fragments of the past but blueprints, designs of massive warships, fleets larger than anything the galaxy now possessed. Names scrolled across the images. Titan-class Revenant Solar Fortress, each one more impossible than the last. The ship's voice thundered through the chamber. "They buried us so the galaxy would know peace, but the stars have burned with war ever since. And now, the vanguard will rise once more." The explorers' hearts froze. The walls themselves seemed to stretch and reshape, opening passages that led deeper into the colossal vessel. A rumble shook the valley above them, trees quivering, soil cracking as if the earth itself was preparing to give birth to a monster. Dr. Kale's eyes widened as his scanner sparked back to life for a moment, showing a terrifying reading. "Commander, the ship isn't just waking up, it's repairing itself." And it was true. The hull outside, buried for centuries, groaned as hidden plates shifted into place. Layers of dirt and stone were pushed aside by sheer force. The ground above cracked open, sending shockwaves across the valley. The aliens panicked. "We must leave. If this ship rises, Earth will see it. Humans will see it." But the exit sealed shut, walls turning liquid and hardening again, trapping them like insects in a cage. The holographic soldiers returned more solid than before. Their blurred forms sharpened, faces clearer, their weapons glowing with lethal power. They formed lines on either side of the chamber, their eyes fixed coldly on the intruders. One soldier stepped forward. His voice was human, strong, and commanding. "Outsiders, you were not chosen, you were not called. Leave this place or be erased." Commander Vare swallowed hard, but his pride forced him to speak. "We cannot leave. The galaxy must know what lies here. If humans awaken this, if they remember this power, they will rule again. We cannot allow it." The soldier's expression did not change. "You mistake silence for weakness. You mistake patience for fear. Humanity does not need permission to rise. They only need remembrance." The ground shook violently. Sparks burst from the capsules. A deafening sound roared through the ship. A HFY signal. Invisible waves shot upward through the soil past the clouds, breaking into the stars above. Dr. Kale screamed over the noise. "It's sending a beacon, a message." Commander Vare's eyes widened in horror. "To whom?" The ship answered. "To its masters, to humanity, across every world, across every star. The call has begun." The explorers felt their blood run cold. The beacon was not meant for them. It was summoning the forgotten children of Earth wherever they might be. Outside, the valley split apart as the ship's colossal frame shifted. Trees toppled, rivers cracked apart, and the earth groaned as metal claws pushed upward. The scale of it was terrifying. This was not just a ship. It was a fortress, a floating city of war buried beneath Earth's soil. The aliens staggered, barely keeping their balance. Their pride as explorers was gone. Now, there was only fear. Dr. Kale's voice cracked as he whispered, "We have made a terrible mistake. We thought humans were small. We thought they were fragile. But they are sleeping giants. And we have just shaken them awake." The holographic soldier raised his weapon. The chamber darkened, and the ship's voice spoke one final time, filled with both sorrow and warning. "The galaxy will remember what it tried to forget. The age of silence is over. The past is awake." The explorers' hearts pounded. They realized too late. This was not discovery. This was not exploration. This was the beginning of something far greater. And it had already started. The truth revealed. The valley was no longer silent. Trees lay scattered like broken sticks. Rivers had changed their course, and the ground split open in jagged scars. From beneath the earth, the ancient ship pushed, itself upward, metal grinding against stone, its massive frame glowing with blue veins of power. The explorers stood inside, trembling. The ship was alive, fully awake, and the beacon had already gone out. Somewhere across the stars, signals had been received. The galaxy would soon know what had been hidden. Dr. Kale's voice was a whisper, almost drowned by the rumble. "We should never have come here. We should never have touched this place." The holographic soldiers stood unmoving, guarding the chamber like statues of light. Then, slowly, the central throne lit up. A figure appeared above it. Not a blurred ghost, but a sharp and clear projection of a human. He was tall, armored, his eyes burning with determination. His voice was calm but carried the weight of command. "Outsiders, you have awakened the vanguard. You have seen fragments of our past. Now you will carry our message." The aliens froze. "Carry? What message?" The human projection stepped forward. his gaze piercing through them as if looking into their very souls. You thought Earth was weak. You thought humanity small. But weakness was our choice. We chose silence so that others could have peace. We chose to bury our strength so the galaxy could heal. But peace has failed. War never ended. And so, we return. The explorers' knees weakened. The words hit them harder than any weapon. Humanity had not been forgotten. Humanity had chosen to sleep. Commander Vayar tried to steady his breath, his pride collapsing under the truth. If you return, the galaxy will tremble. They will not welcome you, they will resist. The hologram's expression did not change. We do not seek welcome. We do not seek permission. We seek remembrance. And when the galaxy remembers, it will understand the cost of underestimating us. Behind him, the screens blazed to life, again, showing images not of the past but of the present. Across distant colonies, across hidden vaults, humans stirred. Old bases lit up. Forgotten armories blinked awake. The beacon had not only awakened the ship, it had awakened all of them. Doctor. Kale's eyes widened in terror. There are more ships, more fortresses. This was only one. The hologram nodded. This was a seed. The Armada sleeps still, but now, they will rise. The explorers realized the truth. Earth was never defenseless. The humans had hidden their weapons, their fleets, their guardians beneath soil, oceans, and forgotten worlds. And now, one voice had called them back. The ground shook again, and outside the ship finally broke free. Its colossal body rose above the valley, casting a shadow that stretched for miles. Birds scattered into the sky, rivers shifted course, and the land itself bent under its size. From orbit, Earth no longer looked the same. A new star seemed to rise from its surface, an ancient fortress ship glowing with the light of rebirth. The aliens inside clung to the walls, unable to move, their pride shattered. They were the first outsiders to witness humanity's hidden truth, but they knew they would not be the last. The galaxy would hear. The galaxy would see. The holographic commander gave his final words. Go back to your people. Tell them what you have seen. Tell them the age of silence is over. The humans you mocked, the humans you underestimated, they are not gone. They are only waking. And when they rise, the stars will remember. The walls opened with a sudden blast of light, hurling the explorers outside into the broken valley. They tumbled to the ground, gasping for breath as the ship above them continued its ascent. The air burned with the roar of ancient engines. Dr. Kale stared upward, tears of fear in his eyes. We thought they were children, but they were giants, in disguise. Commander Vayar said nothing. His voice was gone, stolen by the vision above. He could only watch as the ship climbed into the sky, vanishing beyond the clouds, leaving only a storm of wind and light behind. The valley was silent again, but it was not peace. It was the silence before the storm. For the first time in ages, Earth's hidden legacy had risen, and the galaxy would never be the same.